What's going on? Everybody see me? I'm in the light. Figure I change up the scenery a little bit today. Outdoors. There you go. There you go. We are outdoors, relaxing, man. But I'm waiting on her to chime in so she can be backstage, and we are about to start our workshop for essay writing, brainstorming. So waiting on Miss Pruitt to click the backstage link, and she should be in shortly. Stand by.
Let's see.
There you go. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Figure I changed up the scenery a little bit today outdoors. I had my little septoplasmy, so I had to try to breathe a little bit.
Okay. Good. How are you? How are you doing with that?
I'm doing all right, doing all right, doing all right.
Okay.
Smile is still big as ever, I see.
Thank you. Yes, I had to just get my kids right. They're with me today, so
Good,
am I
good,
good?
good. Well,
Good.
we'll leave the floor to you, allow you to introduce yourself and let
Okay.
people know how we can reach you and all that other good stuff.
Okay. So my name is Tamisha Pruitt. I'm the owner of Not Your Average Tutoring. So I tutored children ages through. I mean, from third grade to 12th grade. I'm gonna scoot over just. Oh no, I want to go this way. And I do math and English and writing. I like to help kids with their writing, um, and math and English. Highly trained, highly skilled, have been tutoring kids since I was in high school. And I decided to turn it into a business because I love helping others. You could find Not Your Average Tutoring on www. I'm going to put it, does the chat work? The chat work.
It does work. Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I put the link in there, www.nyaverage.com/tutoring services. When you get to the website, you will also see that it's a clothing line as well. So I am the owner of Not Your Average Company, which is a clothing line. Sorry, I'm trying to get the computer right. Okay. So yes, so that is me. That's where you could find me. Um, and I do affordable rates because I love to help others. I know tutoring can be quite expensive, and a lot of people miss out on that, which is why I decided to go at a lower rate for right now. Also, if you buy something from notyouraverage.com, a portion of the proceeds actually goes to um, a kid in need. So, for somebody who can't pay for tutoring. So, that's what I've been up to. That's what I've been doing. Hold on one second. Sorry, my children are fighting. Sorry about that. Yes, so I have two beautiful kids here, so you'll be probably hearing them in the background. My apologies. So yes, would you like to talk about what we're going to be doing today, or do you want me to get
Uh,
into it?
yeah. So I kind of briefed it a little bit before, but like I said, we got together, of course, and it's always about the kids, of course, as you always discuss.
Yes,
We come together and discuss workshop writing and brainstorm. We know these kids nowadays get informed of just texting and texting and texting and don't
yes.
know how to write. And then when it comes to these teachers grading papers, like, what in the world did these kids say? Because I even witnessed my own son. He wrote IDK instead of writing spelling out I don't know. Like, how
Mm,
do you write that in an essay? So um, we're going to focus on the brainstorming part of it today, and she's going to teach you how to brainstorm. She's going to teach you how to form an essay out of brainstorming, starting stuff. Our last workshop, we talked about, the introduction, the body, and what to do in the body, the three levels of questions when writing the body, and then concluding it. Now we got to figure out the brainstorming portion of it. So that is why we went to the expertise herself.
yes, so we'll be doing brainstorming. Now, this is actually a big portion of writing because
Yeah.
it's how you get started. I've dealt with a lot of kids who don't know, like you give them a topic and they're like, and they don't know what to write about. So I say, hey, take some time to write and write it out. But actually, there's different ways to brainstorm. Okay.
Yes.
So I will be going over different ways to brainstorm. I have examples on how to brainstorm. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to put in the chat and we will answer those. Okay.
Yes. So we'll let you share your screen, and then we'll get it up there and allow you to do what you do best.
Okay. Let me see. I have it already written out. Window. Bear with me here because I'm trying to see. Okay. Choose your window to share. No, I want to share this. Okay. Let me see if it'll bring it up. Bear with me here. I'm still new to this streaming service. Oh, so the entire stream window.
So take your
Oh,
time.
here we go. There we go. I got it. Now, let me see. Can you see it?
You have to press the share screen. Up there it goes. So let's get you on, and voila.
All right. Are you able to see it?
Yes, I am. So the floor is yours.
Okay. So the first way I'd like to go over for brainstorming is sorry, my son's going to come right in. Give me a second. Can you stop, baby, please? I'm going to give you this, and I want you to just hang out and have fun. Okay, here you go. Yes, I'm teaching my love. I know. Sorry, hold on. I'll be right there. Fine. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, so bear with me here, guys. Okay, so the first type of brainstorming I would like to go over is listing. Many people think that there's just one way of brainstorming, and that's actually not true. Go. Okay. Listing is a process of producing a lot of information within a short time by generating broad ideas and then building on those associations for more detail with a bullet point list. Listing is particularly useful if you are starting topics that is very broad and you need to just narrow it down. So, if you have a topic that you feel has a lot of information, listing is something that will help you do that. And you'll just write down all the possible things that go through your mind that you are working on. Um, this can work well if you're like brainstorming with a team. All team members can generate ideas with one person writing. You don't have to worry about your list being perfect or anything like that. You're just throwing out what's in your mind and what might be and be a good idea. You simply write down as many possibilities as you can. Okay. Then you're going to group the items that you have listed according to arrangements that make sense to you. So, are things thematically related. So when you're writing and you're listing, you want to look at things that are related to exactly what you're writing about. And you want to narrow it down to exactly what you're writing about, because a lot of ideas can flow and narrowing it down will help you write it out. Um, you'll give each group of your list, you'll group them and then you'll give it a label. And now you have a narrower topic with possible points of development. So now you're narrowing it down once you jot your list out. Then you're going to write a sentence about um, your topics. So if you write a lot of topics and not full sentences, then you'll just pick the topic that is closest to your idea, and you'll write sentences out. Okay, that's like your thesis statement. Your thesis statement is like the main sentence and idea of what you're talking about. Okay, does that sound all good? I'm going to go to the example. Are there any questions? Okay. So here's like what example of a listing looks like. So here's some topic ideas: online education, gentrification, data privacy, vice taxes, and stuff like that. So, for example, I'm going to write out the teacher says, here's the question: how do you feel about online education? Okay. That is the question. That is what you're going to be writing about. Okay. Here's how I would list things. Okay. I'm going to stop there. So these are just things that when I think of online education, I write them down, okay? And so for example, now once I listed, I put no classrooms, you're at your own pace. These are just thoughts. Like it, too hands-on, more work, okay? So no classroom. I'm going to elaborate on this and now write out a sentence. Okay, so to elaborate on that thought, I put no classrooms. When you take online classes, you could do so from home. You do not have to physically go anywhere to learn. That's a sentence that I thought of off of listening. Own pace. Let's do own pace. So for own pace, an idea that came to mind was you can take the class and complete the work at your own pace. Now, this is not all the time. I'm just writing what comes to mind. Some will be right, some won't, right? Like it. Like it. So a thought was I would like it. And I like the fact that I don't have to leave my home to learn. Too hands on. Okay. Okay, for two hands on, I put it may be hard to keep up because I am responsible for my work. I may have a question and not be able to reach the teacher. Okay. More work. That's a thought. That's a question. More work. I feel there is going to be more work to do on my end. Okay. So that's an example of listing and how you build off your thoughts when it comes to listing. Now, are there any questions or anything? Uh, Jeffrey, I can't see, so let's look. Any questions?
You see it's on the screen. You see it?
Oh, okay. How many bullets would you recommend when brainstorming? Um, it depends on the subject. So I would recommend on the listing, I would recommend 4 to 5 to build off that. But you can do as many as you want. It's just narrowing it down to 4 to 5. So narrow it down to 4 to 5 bullets. Brainstorming is really on your own and you can come up with whatever you want. But I would narrow it down to 4 to 5 bullets when you're getting ready to write. Okay? Next, we're going to move to clustering. Um, typically, clustering is what we see like when we first start out. Like when you're younger, that's what they start with, right? I know everybody's seen that before. So clustering. It's also called mind mapping or idea mapping. It is a strategy that allows you to explore the relationships between ideas. Okay. So you're going to put the subject in the center of the page and circle it or underline it. So whatever they're asking you to write about is what the subject is. Okay. That's what the subject is going to be. As you think of other ideas, write them on the page surrounding or around the central idea. Okay. So you're going to like map it out. It's going to look like a circle and more circles, right? You're going to write the ideas around the central idea. And I have an example to show you. You will link the new ideas to the central circle with lines. Okay. So I'll show you how that looks. As you think of ideas that relate to new ideas, add those in the same way. So you'll have an idea, right? You have the main idea, then you'll come up with other ideas, and then those ideas, you'll write stuff to that, to link it to that, so you can narrow it down, okay? The result will look like a web on your page, and you'll locate the clusters of the interest to you and use the terms you attach to the key ideas as departure points for your paper. Meaning, the ideas that stick out to you that you can write a lot about is what you're going to narrow it down to. And I'll show you what that looks like. Clustering is especially useful in determining the relationship between ideas. You will be able to distinguish how the ideas fit together, especially when there's an abundance of ideas. Clustering your ideas lets you see them visually in a different way so that you can more readily understand possible directions your paper may take. Okay? That's what clustering will look like to you. You have your main idea here. You'll write a few things here. You'll write a few things here. And then once you write those ideas, if you can see the arrows, you'll write another idea here. and then you'll write more ideas here. So this is as far I would go with the ideas, because then it could be get to be too much and overwhelming. So you want to have one main idea, and then you want to branch off to 4 to 5 other ideas, and then you want to do 2 to 3 ideas on that other idea. Okay. Now I can look up an actual example of a clustering, and I will get that for you. Okay. Okay. Bear with me here. I'm going to put it on my page and I will show you. Okay. So I found a good example for clustering. Okay. Here we go. So the main idea here is soup. Okay. Soup. One idea that goes to that is soup recipes: chicken, lamb, Mediterranean. Water quality and the effect on the flavor of soup. Soup could also have medicinal properties. I know a lot of people eat soup when they're sick. The side or point of spoon in the mouth, you have to have a spoon to eat soup. Soup is for dinner. There's different cultures that use soup. Stone Soup is a children's story that tells you more about soup. And then soup etiquette, discovery that this thought is related to one above. So this is like a small example of what brainstorming would look like. I would actually write, then I would write more things on, let's see, like with this one. I don't know if it'll let me draw in here. It won't. I would put spoon, and then I would write, you can only use a spoon when you eat soup, right? Dinner. I would put winter dinners. Bear with me here. I'm trying to do this as nice as possible. So soup is normally for winter dinners, right? So this is an example of what that would look like, right? So that's clustering. Let me see. Let me go back and see if there's any questions. Okay. Does cluster work on all forms of writing? Yes, it does. All of these examples I'm giving you work. All of these examples work on all writing. All of these examples work on all of the writing. Um, a lot of people think that brainstorming is just writing it out and then rewriting it and rewriting it, but there's several ways, and different people, their brain works different ways, right? So since that is that way, there's several ways that brainstorm, and I will also make this template available, and I will be sending this to Jeffrey, and he can send them out to you. That way you have examples and stuff like that, and you could find what works best for you. Some people don't like this. It may be too much for somebody's mind. Some people may like the listing better. So everything I'm giving you, you can use on all types of writing. It's just ideas. Brainstorm is really just throwing your ideas out there and then seeing how those ideas relate to the subject that you're writing. Okay? All right. So let's move on to the next type of brainstorming. Free writing. Okay? Some people like to just free write. Let me drink some water. Free writing. Free writing is a process of generating a lot of information by writing nonstop in full sentences for a predetermined amount of time. It allows you to focus on a specific topic, but forces you to write so quickly that you're unable to edit any of your ideas. Okay? So, sorry. Free write on the assignments or general topic for 5 to 10 minutes nonstop. So you'll time yourself. This is important because if you give yourself too much time, you'll end up with way more than what you need. Force yourself to continue writing even if nothing specific comes to mind. So you can end up writing, I don't know what to write about, over and over until an idea pops up in your head. This is okay. The important thing is that you do not stop writing. This free writing will include many ideas at this point, and generating ideas is what is important, not the grammar or the spelling. So when you're writing, you just want to just write and think about this. I use this technique a lot with my students on brainstorming because it gives them, the younger kids, it gives them a less structured and more free feeling on what to write, and then they end up coming with a lot of ideas. After you have finished free writing, look back over what you have written and highlight the most prominent and interesting ideas. Then you can begin all over again with a tighter focus. You will narrow your topic, and in the process, you will generate several relevant points about the topic. Okay? So you'll free write, and then you'll take what you've written and pick the sentences that you have written that are related to the topic that you can also write more about, if that makes sense. Okay. So this is what free writing looks like. Now I know this is a basketball. Cali Lee is like a basketball team, right? So I came up with the basketball writing. So here's an example of free writing. The first thing that came to mind when we got this assignment was to write about basketball. I've always loved both playing and watching the sport. I don't know what aspect of it to focus on, though. I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to write here. I'm looking around the room now. Oh, the student next to me is wearing a Bulls t-shirt. That's my favorite team. Maybe I could write about the history of the Bulls in my essay. So this is an example of just free writing, getting all your thoughts out. As you can see, it's very free. It's whatever comes to mind. As long as you don't stop writing for those 5 to 10 minutes that you give yourself, okay? Let's see, I'm going to go back. Any questions? Anybody have any questions? I give it one more minute. Is is free writing something we should do before writing? Yes. I'm writing it in the chat. Before writing your paper. Give yourself okay. So yes, free writing is something you should do before writing your paper. Give yourself 5 to 10 minutes to write whatever you can. I meant to put can think about the subject or question given. Why is free writing important? Okay, I'm gonna write it in the chat. It is not. Okay. Free writing is important because it is not as structured as other brainstorming techniques. It allows you to think and write whatever comes to your mind, making it less pressure on you. It will help ease your mind about the subject. So, some people get overwhelmed when they look at the clusters or they have to write little bubbles. But if you just write freely, it's often most people's favorite way to brainstorm because they can just write whatever about the subject. And then a lot of times they can pick out what they want to write specifically about the subject from the free writing. Okay, any more questions before I move on to the next one? All right. So our next type of brainstorming is called looping. Okay, so it's a mixture of free writing and another type of technique, okay? Looping is a free writing technique that allows you to focus on your ideas continually while trying to discover a writing topic. As you free write for the first time, identify a key thought or idea in your writing and begin to free write again with that idea as your starting point. You will loop one 5 to 10 minute free writing after another. So you have a sequence of free writings, each more specific than the last. The same rules that apply to free writing apply to looping. Write quickly, do not edit, and do not stop. So it's another form of free writing. It's actually adding on to free writing. So once you free write, you'll look at your ideas and then you'll pick one thought and you'll free write again. And then you will pick another um, idea or topic in what you free wrote first and you will loop it again and do another free writing session. So you'll have a sequence of free writing. So for that, I would say like you'll free write and then you'll have three more frequent sequences called looping. So you'll have one free writing, that's your first topic. And then you'll pick an idea out of there, you'll write that down, and then you'll free write on that. Okay? And after that, you will pick another topic from your first free writing and then write on that. And then after that, you'll pick a last final topic of your free writing and write on that. And what you're trying to do is narrow it down. What you'll see is you'll basically pretty much write your paper out. And it doesn't matter if it's edited, wrong spelling, punctuation's not right. That won't matter. What matters is the ideas that you'll be putting into your paper. Okay? Loop your free writing as many times as necessary. Now, I don't agree with this. I say about 3 times so you're not just writing endlessly. So I say, I'm going to put in here, oh, it's not going to be right. I'll go back in here and put 3 times. Circling another interesting topic, idea, phrase, or sentence each time. When you have finished 4 or 5 rounds of looping, you'll begin to have specific information that indicates what you are thinking about a particular topic. You may even have the basis for a tentative thesis or an improved idea for an approach to your assignment when you have finished. Okay. Here we go. Let me. Okay. Okay. So this is an idea about looping. This is what it will look like. Okay. The first thing that came to mind. This is what we first free wrote, right? The first thing that came to mind when we got this assignment was to write about basketball. I've always loved both playing and watching the sport. I don't know what aspect of it to focus on though. I am running out of ideas. I don't know what to write here. I'm looking around the room now. Oh, the student next to me is wearing a Bulls t-shirt. That is my favorite team. Maybe I could write about the history of Bulls in my essay. Boom. That's your free writing, the first one. Looping is taking that. Maybe I can write about the history of the Bulls in my essay, and then you'll write it here. What I know about the history of the Bulls is, and you'll write, right? So I'll just take some time to write something out. Now, I could be wrong, and that's okay what I'm about to write, so please correct me. How do I turn off my drawing? Okay. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Back down here. So here we go. Hold on. So, the history of the Bulls, right? And this I'm just going to write. Okay. So, what I know about the history of the Bulls is, and then I would just write what I know, right? The history of the Bulls. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman won 6 championships, 3 back-to-back each time. Colors are red and black. They're from Chicago. I know, baby. Oh, hold on. Here you go, love. Coach on Warriors played for Bulls. Go back to the back. Also, everybody used to be a fan and they're known throughout the world. Okay? So that's how you loop. That's an example of looping. Is there any questions on looping? Any questions on looping? I'm going to put in here looping is taking Any questions before I move on to the last one? Okay. I'm going to put what free write or looping is. Okay. Absolutely not. Go back to the back. Okay. I'm almost done, love.
Why is it blowed up?
Did I tell you what to do?
Yes.
Thank you.
But why is it blowed up?
Daddy blew it up. Go. Okay. So looping is taking your first free writing, picking an idea out of there, and doing another session of free writing. Okay. Since I didn't get any questions, I will be moving on to the last and final part of what I wrote for brainstorming. Okay. This part, let me get some water, is called the journalist questions. The journalist questions. Journalists traditionally ask 6 questions when they are writing assignments that are broken down into 5 W's. Who, what, and 1 H. Who, what, where, when, and why and how. You can use these questions to explore the topic you are writing about for an assignment. A key to using the journalist questions is to make them flexible enough to account for the specific details of your topic. For instance, if your topic is the rise and fall of the Puget Sound tides and its effect on salmon spawning, you may have very little to say about who. If your focus does not account for human involvement, on another hand, some topics may be heavy on the who, especially if human involvement is a crucial part of the topic. Okay, so the journalist questions are a very powerful way to develop a great deal of information about a topic very quickly. Learning to ask the appropriate questions about a topic takes practice. However, at times during the writing assignment, you may wish to go back and ask the journalist questions again to clarify important points that may be getting lost in your planning and drafting. So here's an example. Let's say you get a topic, okay? You're going to ask who. Who are the participants? Who is affected? Who are the primary actors? Who are the secondary actors, okay? What? What is the topic? What is the significance of the topic? What is the basic problem? What are the issues related to that problem? Where? Where does that activity take place? Where does the problem or issue have its source? At what place is the cause or effect of the problem most visible? When? When is the issue most apparent? In the past, present, future? When did the issue or problem develop? What historical forces helped shape the problem or issue, and at what point in time Will the problem or issue culminate in a crisis? When is action needed to address the issue or problem? Why? Why did the issue or problem arise? Why is it your topic, whatever they're asking you about, an issue or problem at all? Why did this issue or problem develop in the way that it did? How? How is this issue or problem significant? How can it be addressed? How does it affect all of the participants? How can the issue or problem be resolved? So, that is the last tip on brainstorming that I have for you is the journalist questions. It's basically asking who, what, when, where, why, and how about your specific topic. Asking these questions will help you get answers that you can use to write about your topic. So, I'm going to write that in the chat. Okay. So the journalist questions asking who, what, when, where, why, and how about the topic given to write about. So those are the tips that I have on different types of ways to brainstorm. I bet a lot of people didn't know that there are several different ways to do that. So that's why I picked several, and you could pick which one is best for you. As I said, I will be giving this sheet to Jeffrey, and he can share that with everybody in this class, and I'll, um, write a little more to help out. So, are there any more questions about brainstorming?
No, there was no more questions. You taught me something.
What did you say?
I said you taught me something. I've been writing, 2 master's degrees, and I ain't know anything. I'm gonna add this into doing what I do for work, free writing.
Yes, it goes for work, school, whatever. I figured I don't know if we have anybody under high school in here, so I picked try to do a high school standards. But yes, you can use this for anything, any grade, any age. It's never, it's universal. And I didn't know either until I had to do research on it. Of course, I research everything. But yes, I found these to be quite helpful for people who think differently. Not everybody thinks and learns the same, especially thinking. So these are ways that will help you narrow down your topic, because I know it can be a bit overwhelming when you don't even know where to go with the topic, right? So,
Exactly.
yes.
I think this was very helpful today for the kids. I know
Good.
we definitely will be doing other things, and as soon as I get more feedback, question, and constructive criticism of what we can do to help these kids, I know we're
Yes.
here for the kids' sake always. So I love it. I love it. I love it.
Always. Me too. I love to help when I can.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I know learning is a lot. I know writing is a lot. I deal with a lot of writing students, and I love to just be able to help them ease their mind and learn how to write. So that's what I'm here for.
Mommy, can I tell you
You
something
need to
about?
give me 1 minute.
It's about something important,
What, baby?
Mommy.
Sorry, hold on one second.
I fell off the
Uh-huh.
bed. My foot slipped and then it accidentally touched my cooter.
Okay.
I got a knee appointment.
Okay, go to the back. Sorry about that.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah,
Wherever.
like I said, I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so they've been pretty good throughout this time, so I'm thankful for that.
Yes, it's always good. It's always good. Well, everybody, you can see how you can find her scrolling across the bottom of the screen. I know you guys are replay. Probably have questions afterwards, as always, in the chat.
Yes.
Um, you
I
know where
will
to
be
find her.
sending it to you to share with
Okay,
everybody that you
will
know.
do. Will do. And then, of course, if you guys need any help with tutoring, reach out to her. All her information is on the bottom. She is
Yes.
really the best. She has turned around a few of my student athletes already. So it's
Good.
taken
I'm happy to
from
hear that.
so love it, love it, love it, love it. Well, that will conclude our little class today, and we appreciate everything. We appreciate you always.
Also, if there's anything that you students have a question on, feel free to let Jeffrey know, and we'll do another one of these on whatever you would like to learn what to write about.
That'll work. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me, and like I say, reach out to me. Not your average tutor. nyaverage.com is where you can find me. If you want to look specifically for tutoring services, it's nyaverage.com/tutoring. My
Oh,
Instagram is ny_average, and my other Instagram is nyaverage tutor. So I use
yeah.
my clothing line as an educational tool because I use English and math in my logo, and I want to teach these kids that learning is cool, writing is cool, and you can create anything with knowledge. So that's my goal. And my goal is to help as many students as possible get comfortable with math, English, and writing because these are things that are very important throughout your
Yes.
life.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So
All
thank you
right.
for having me, and
Always, always. It's always my pleasure, and thank you.
thank you. I will see you next time. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye bye.
Bye.